Do you find comedy or music kind of helped you be more comfortable with writing in that vulnerable space?
Good question. I think comedy kind of made me feel comfortable because it took a little bit of pressure off. But now I'm interested in exploring like vulnerability that's not comedic too. I feel like that's for your average American man, maybe a little challenging at times, and we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I wrote a new song recently that we're gonna play at Black Cat on July 10th called "My Darlin'," and it feels like soft and beautiful in a way that is really nice. Actually, the band we rehearsed it with the band for the first time last night, and it's one of Leaf's favorite songs, and he's our bass player and music director. So he's I feel like when I get his approval, it's actually a good song. So he was really happy about it. It's been nice, and then we just added some sax jam that was just like sad and melancholy but groovy and beautiful. So yeah, I'm excited to just play around with different stuff. I think I realized that kind of the core of who I am is goofy and silly, and I like to be silly and funny. So I feel like it's not my vibe to write super sad stuff, but maybe I'll be in that wave at some point. But recently I have had a couple moments where I was just feeling a little bit more melancholy and like just wanted to catch it while it was there too, because something that I am happy about is that I don't feel like I sit in those spaces for too long. Where if I feel sad, I've learned to not block that feeling, because I feel like maybe when I was in high school or college, I would like try to block out bad feelings. Whereas now I'm appreciative of the feeling at all, because I feel like, especially being creative, you're like, whoa, this is where the inspiration comes, the feelings, the emotion. So when I'm last couple of weeks, I was feeling a little just melancholic, and then I was like, let me capture this right while it's hot. So I just dove in, wrote 2 songs that were sort of in that space. But yeah, I do appreciate kind of finding something from the well. Sometimes comedy can mask that a little bit, so I think it was a nice gateway to get me into songwriting. Really nice gateway, because it made me feel comfortable. Like, this isn't too serious. People can laugh at it. It doesn't have to be that high pressure musically and stuff. And then kind of take that as a bridge to write other regular songs, come back into comedy and be like, I do love to make people laugh and make myself laugh, honestly. But now also being able to explore some more vulnerable spaces without the comedy.
Right. I just really want to emphasize that last part too, which was like the comedy being kind of the gateway, and maybe it feels like it has to be masked, and you being on the inside, me more on the outside, but feeling like, yes, that raw feeling you have to channel some way to make it funny. When in music it can just be that, like, directly to the beat or to the song. It can just be that feeling, it exists as itself. A lot of the ways that is catharsis, I'm sure for a lot of artists, for myself it is, and they offer different pathways, and I think that's why art is great. You have all of these different pathways to express yourself, and you realize that there really isn't one that fully expresses you, and maybe you're not as good at one, so it's not your skill or your talent or your like main creative endeavor, but just the value of indulging in them all can help shape either your primary thing or kind of just a holistic sense of yourself. Which, speaking of, we'll shift to kind of another creative zone, which you touched on it before, being in a film. Was this your first time? And just take me a little bit through the opportunity, how it all came together, and what happened.
Yeah, it was my first time in a feature film, so it was really trippy to see myself on the big screen. Bethesda Theater, he's pitching it now, so that was the premiere, and now he's pitching it to bigger servicers, of course, Netflix, Amazon, all that stuff. But he's a super talented creator. Dreamy Alpha, that was the guy that I mentioned, I played in a band in 2021, met Yaz, who's now in our band too. Super impressive. So I was just kind of hungry to get into the scene, the music scene. And I met this drummer at the Pocket who was like, we're auditioning guitarists. Do you want to come audition guitarist? And I was like, took it super seriously, learned all his songs, came up super prepared, took a guitar lesson to even like get more ideas for how I could sort of add stuff into his music live. So I came super prepared, and he seemed like impressed. He was just such a cool guy. And I really loved his music, because I feel like I don't listen all the time. Hip hop is like in the middle. I'm not like a aficionado, but when I started listening to his music, his hip hop, I was like, dang, this is next level good. Like the lyrics, the flow, the production. Shout out Jamal the Great is his producer. But yeah, I was like, this is amazing. So I had just a blast playing in his live band. We had some cool, fun live shows, and we've stayed friends over the years because he's so talented in rap, but he can also do video really well and graphic design and drawing. Like he's just like a multi-creative person. So he did a few of our music videos. I reached out to him while we were getting started with Steven Soul in the Seven. He did a few of our music videos. He did Forever Changed, Sunshine Wine, Spring, which was a cool music video. And he always comes up with creative ideas too. Like for Spring, you know, it was about, the song is sort of about feeling like you're about to die and being born again by the sun in the spring. And he had this idea of like, I want you to actually get buried. You know, I want you to get kidnapped by two thugs, and like basically they put you in the back of a car, bring you out to bring you out to a remote place, a field. We're gonna find a field. We're gonna get a shovel, dirt. You know, like you're gonna be literally buried alive. And shout out to Randy and Tyler in our band, our trumpet player and guitar player. They were Thug 1 and Thug 2 who kidnapped me, beat me up. I had blood on my face and stuff. And funny enough, I actually walked into an H&M later that day with all this like makeup, blood on my face and dirt, and like it just was crazy. It was really funny because we were doing the second part of that music video the next day, and I was trying to get the right fit, but people were like really like, are you okay?
Right, like, should we call someone?
Yeah, but we've been really good friends over the years. He invited me to his wedding in Jamaica, which was absolute blast. And then I've just been following along his journey, and he told me, I'm making a movie. I'd like you to play a detective, sort of a incompetent but like lovable detective.
Okay.
So I played Detective Kaplan, who was not particularly good at his job. He rookie on the force, but really like good-hearted, like spilling coffee, messing up papers. But like everybody hated me on the force because it was like a very corrupt police force, and everyone was kind of just like taking bribes and this and that. But I was like by the book and like just got out of police training academy and stuff.
Sure.
So I was just like, I couldn't believe that people would be like doing crime. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm going to tell on you. So it was funny. I had some moments in the movie where the theater got a big laugh out of like basically one of the other cops telling me to like shut the F up or like, call me the B word and stuff like that. But I played that type of character, and it was just absolutely amazing. He says he might want to be making a sequel, so we'll see. Tune in, but yeah, should be out for at least streaming services at some point. He's working on kind of figuring out exactly how he wants to release it, but it's called Street Ninja: The Dark Kingdom.
Can you shout us Instagram?
Oh yeah, it would be Dreamy Alpha. That's with 2 E's, so DreemyAlpha.